Hello everyone, welcome back to Oratory with Sai. Before we've seen what in the world oratory is, how to choose your topic, how to write your speech, and how to give your speech. And now I'm going to talk about unpacking your sentences and how to memorize. And this is all about giving your speech and making sure you give the best possible speech. So let's get started. So what in the world is unpacking your sentences? You've heard me throw this around the last video. Well, let's go into it now. Basically, you want to deliver your speech with effect. And so, you're going to go through each sentence, or the sentences that matter to you, and just unpack them in delivery. So what do I mean? Let's start with this first sentence. Now, if I weren't to unpack this sentence, here's how it would sound. Many years ago, my family and I pursued the American dream. By moving from India, we were completely unaware of the American nightmare waiting for us. Very monotonous, very boring. No one wants to listen to you. So, this is when you unpack it. Now, naturally speaking, you unpack your sentences when you're talking to someone. People are not monotonous. Even you people have some sort of, okay, I shouldn't say that, but everyone has some sort of inflection in their voice. And you're basically annotating that here. And this is something completely optional, but it's very helpful to you. And you don't have to do this with all your sentences, but if you have a sentence that you really want to nail, you can unpack it. So here's how you do it. Go through your sentence and sort of find out where there's pauses and changes in delivery. And this is the first sentence of my speech. So I always want to start my speech strong. That's a general rule of thumb. You want to start your speech strong. So I'm going to just write strong here. So instead of saying many years ago, you go many years ago. You don't want to yell at them, but you can say many years ago. When my family and I pursued the American dream. So I kind of want the American dream to seem magnificent. I don't know the right word in English, but something wonderful. But when my family and I pursued the American dream, sort of uplifting voice, so something uplifting. By moving here from India, we were completely unaware of the American nightmare waiting for us. So the nightmare is something with a darker connotation. So maybe you can just write darker here. You want to say it with a darker undertone. We were completely unaware of the American nightmare waiting for us. So, without the unpacking, it's many years ago when my family and I pursued the American dream, moving from India. We were completely unaware of the American nightmare waiting for us. Once you unpack it, it's many years ago when my family and I pursued the American dream. By moving from India, we were completely unaware of the American nightmare waiting for us. And it's a much more interesting sentence that people want to listen to. And unpacking your sentences also works for comedic effect. So let's take a look at this next sentence. Now back home, the driving's pretty chaotic. I mean, you have to compete with wild dogs and monkeys who are completely incapable of driving their cars. So this is a pretty funny sentence, ironic sort of things. Like they're not wild dogs and monkeys literally, but Indian drivers, you know what I mean? So you sort of want to highlight that. Maybe you want to highlight that irony. So you can feel like exasperated here. I mean, you have to compete with wild dogs and monkeys. Maybe pause just to let that set in. Who are completely incapable of driving their cars in a straight line. And so now that sentence unpacked, it's a little exasperated and a little pause here. Very simple unpacking. So, I mean, you have to compete with wild dogs and monkeys who are completely incapable of driving their cars. And there you go, very simple unpacking. And you go through with each sentence or whatever sentence you want to nail, and you just unpack them. And when you're writing itself, you'll write a sentence that you really like, and you'll automatically know how to unpack it. So it's nothing very hard, but it's something that will make sure your speeches are much, much better. And you're not monotonous, like, hey guys, I'm just doing this because Prabhat told me to, or else he ain't going to let me do debate. You don't want to be like that. You want to be someone a little bit more spicy. Now you, go through each sentence, or at least the sentence you really love, and make a note on how you should say it best. Split it up into the sections you think are powerful, or softer, or loud, or dark, or sweet, oh, everybody, so sweet. Or you want to basically circle places where you should say something a little differently. And schedule a time with me to help. I am always open, studying for the physics test, so you can just schedule a time with me one-on-one and I can help you unpack. So now it's about memorizing. Something that strikes fears into everyone's heart. Strikes fear into everyone's heart. But it's much easier than it sounds. And to this, I talk about something called the rap song effect. Now, I don't really understand English songs in general. I don't understand songs in general, like what they're saying. And rap is even worse. Like they're going at lightning speed and they're also deep voiced. It's impossible to listen to. But I love rap. I mean, there's nothing better than a good old 50 Cent song in the club or Eminem or anything like that. And I really like rap. And actually, I can sing the rap songs. Even though they're lightning speed, especially Rap God, it's super fast. But how am I able to sing them? Well, it's because I listen to them over and over again. When I'm doing work, when I'm exercising, when I'm in the shower, I have to admit it, but I just listen to it over and over again. And all of a sudden, I can sing it.
It's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip Bacardi like it's your birthday.
And so, that's basically what you do with your speech as well. At least this is what works for me. Just listen to yourself over and over again. Give your speech in the shower or whatever. And just listen to your voice. I mean, I hate my own voice. It's the most annoying thing in the world. I can't believe you've been listening to it for this long, but just listen to it over and over again, and you'll be able to memorize it just automatically. And then you should love what you write. If you like your sentences, if you like what you're writing and what you're putting on paper, it's going to be much easier for you to memorize it. Most of the times, I think of a line when I'm doing work or talking to someone, and I think, boy, that's genius. And so I put that line into the speech, and because I thought of it and I loved it so much, I automatically memorize it. I'm not going to forget it. And so that's how you memorize it. Listen to it over and over again, and practice over and over again, and love what you write. So memorize. I cannot stress this enough. You can win by default. And that is the end of this presentation. So thank you for watching, everyone, this episode of Oratory with Sai. In the next episode, I think the next episode will be the final episode. So on some tips and tricks when you give your oratory. So thank you for watching, everyone. You now know how to write, give, and effectively give your speech. Efficaciously give your speech. So until next time, signing off. Thank you for watching. Bye.